In this video, I'll be reviewing Guaranteed Gains by Hermann Fitness. And the reason I'm giggling a little bit before I even start this video is this. I had to like suffer through some like real like 90s infomercial shit to get this program. Um, and way too many H's in the word started. And the program is a little painful to look at because everything's highlighted in like real bold colors. Um, yeah, so I'm enduring that for you. To have a to have a read through this for this program. So just bear in mind it's a little painful. So we have the list of exercises. This is tough to read. This workout requires. Okay, so we need a bench, a barbell, a machine, and dumbbells. Okay, cool. So we're finally into it. So this is day one. I'm assuming it just took me a little while to get through. List of exercises: modified bench press. What the fuck is a modified bench press? What is a modified bench press? Is it on an What is happening? This is such an odd You know what? I'm just going to review it as if it's a real bench press because I don't know what a modified bench press is, and this program is cutting my eyes to read. It's literally highlighted in like the brightest blue you've ever seen. Anyway, modified bench press, 8 sets. That is a lot of sets. And then we have once again, I say once again because the program I was just reviewing did this as well. We have specific reps. So on each of your 8 sets, you better select the weight perfectly because you need to get 10, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, 4. That's so oddly specific. So you better, this is written for beginners. And don't tell me, and you can tell me it's like written for advanced people, but no advanced person is suffering through horrific cyan highlighted text to find a program. I'm doing that because I'm a crazy man. But, so, as a beginner, you need to find the weight that's perfect to get you to failure or close to failure for 10, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, 4. So you better get it right perfectly, and you better like maybe take the weight down or really sandbag those sets to ensure that you're going to get 8 on the next one. 8 sets is too much for a bench. You're going to be fried off the bone by the time you finish this. I like compounds, but 8 sets of bench is too much. And you're resting 2 minutes between each of them as well. So you could be supersetting, but instead you're just resting 2 minutes. Then we go to 5 sets of power shrug. Look, I actually think power shrug is a great exercise. The traps are all about just generating, having lots of force and catching something heavy. But you're doing 5 sets of 5, which is it's probably fine, except the problem is you're resting 90 seconds between. So you're just literally doing 5 sets of a shrug and then just sitting there for 90 seconds, which is probably not the greatest use of time. Then we go to barbell bicep curl. Oh. Okay, you know what's interesting? Is underneath here it says it's not clear how this works exactly because this looks a bit poorly written, but it does say superset cable fly face pull. Oh no, I think it's just you're supersetting those all 3 together. So no, sorry, I was going to say maybe he's actually being smart and supersetting some between his bench sets, but we're not. Barbell bicep curls, we've got 4 sets, and once again we've got super specific reps. 8, 8, 6, 6. I don't hate the rep range, or I say rep range being optimistic. I don't hate the rough amount of reps. I think that's good, heavy bicep work. Barbell, I would rather it was an easy bar because most people have trouble gripping and getting a lot out of a straight bar, but it's not bad. And 4 sets is not a bad amount either. 60-second rest, that's probably not a bad rest time, although you could superset something there if you wanted. Once again, though, that's highly specific reps. You're going to have to select the perfect weight. You're going to have to sandbag the hell out of that first set in order to make sure you get 8 again. Now we go into our superset, which is actually technically a giant set because there's 3 things here. But we're going to superset cable flies, which is, I don't hate, if we'd done like 5 sets of bench, I wouldn't hate it. But because our chest is cooked off the bone after 8 sets. But still, cable fly is not a bad movement. 4 sets of those, 4 sets of face pulls, 4 sets of incline dumbbell curls. This is not a terrible superset. Nothing super duper tiring. Giant set, I should say. Nothing that's going to fry you. And good movements. I wish the rep range was a little higher on face pulls. Doing 8 reps of face pulls is very heavy. I feel like face pulls are a good movement for higher reps, getting a bit of a pump. But it's also odd to me that we've been given rest times, and the rest times are different for the 3 things in the superset, which is really odd. Because surely the superset starts when it starts, so you can't rest different amounts for different things in the superset. And it's also a giant set, so its terminology is a little off here. But yeah, not a bad superset. I don't hate it. Then we have an optional superset, which is forearms, where we superset wrist extensions and wrist curls. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah, and we've rested 60 seconds. You don't really need to rest 60 seconds between those, but sure, absolutely fine. That's a good superset. I'm not sure it should be optional necessarily. And honestly, here's the thing: you could have thrown that between your shrugs, for example. But yeah. Oh, and it's got a little note here. And of course, this note is highlighted in bright green because everything in this program has to hurt your eyes. The modified bench is essentially a 20% incline bench setting. Yeah, sure, okay, no problem with that. Nothing wrong with the incline bench. I'm not sure why you have to do it that way, but yeah, nothing wrong with an incline bench. Important. Remember that your meal plan, which is a link, will determine 100% of your results. You cannot out-train a bad diet. That's not necessarily true, and the 100% of your results is obviously hyperbole, but sure, I guess diet's important. Here we just have some nice little demonstrations of the exercises being done, which, yeah, I don't mind. Shall we check their form on these exercises? It looks good to me. I don't hate that. And the guy's pretty jacked, so nothing wrong with that. Okay, now we've got day 2. Guaranteed gains, by the way, is a great name for a program, I should mention. Day 2, we go to close grip bench for 6 sets. Once again, we've got the hyper-specific reps, 10, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6. It's going to have to sandbag the hell out of those last few sets, guarantee you get 6. But anyway, and 6 sets is too many. too many. But close grip bench is a great way to open a workout, nothing wrong with that. Big, heavy compound. Then we go T-bar row, 5 sets, once again, super specific reps, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6. Or sorry, I should say only 8, 8, 8, 6, 6. 5 sets, probably too many, again, but not the end of the world. And T-bar row is not a bad row exercise. I quite like it, especially if you do it under control without the super duper huge cheat, making it like a full posterior chain and like glute exercise. I don't hate it. Nothing wrong with that. Then we got a barbell shoulder press for 5 sets. It's odd to me that we're doing a close grip bench and a barbell shoulder press on the same day for a total of 11 sets. Once again, we've got super specific reps. I'm going to stop complaining about it, but it is goofy. I don't know if we should be doing 11 sets of heavy shoulder and chest compounds on the same day. But it's not... I'd rather we do compounds than not, but surely we can split this up a little bit better rather than, having someone come and do 11 sets of heavy pressing in the same day. Then we go into a superset of pull-ups. Wait, there's a couple of asterisks here, which makes me curious what are asterisks for. Every time you see a drop in repetitions means you have to increase the weight. Does it though? Like, I feel like these are natural drops. Like, if you're doing close grip bench, you don't need to increase the weight to drop from 10 to 8. That could just be you did a tough set, and now the next set's only 8. So that's even weirder. That actually makes it even worse. Now you have to be, like, omega sandbagging the first set to ensure you can still get the next amount. But anyway, we have our superset here, which is pull-ups, supersetted to dumbbell reverse fly. I don't hate that superset. Dumbbell reverse flies are kind of like a movement which is a nice to have, so having them supersetted in is not bad. But we're also supersetting that with a power bomb, which is kind of giving me Batista vibes, taking me back to WWE. I'm just going to Google power... Oh, you know, shouldn't need to Google, actually, because we've got little lovely exercise demonstrations in this PDF. Let's see what a power bomb is. Oh, no, sorry, I'm struggling here. This PDF is very hard to navigate. Show me a power bomb. I want to know. Oh, okay, a power bomb is just a French press. It's just a dumbbell French press. Okay, power bomb. Great name for an exercise. Not the name, but good. I like it. And then we jump into an optional superset of wrist extension, wrist curl. It's the same superset as last time for forearms. I don't hate that. I think that's actually really nice to have at the end, just spam some forearms. This day may well kill you if you're new to the gym, though. You've got 11 sets of heavy pressing, then French pressing afterwards, plus pull-ups and heavy T-bar rows. It's a lot. You may well die if you do this day. To be honest, I don't hate the rest of it. 11 sets of heavy pressing is too much in a single day. Then we move on to lower day 1. Legs, glutes, calves, abs. Okay, that's not a bad way of splitting your training either. I don't hate that at all. What do we have? We have squats for 8 sets. You do not need to do 8 sets of squats. You're going to be dead. 8, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, 6, 4. My brother in Christ, you are going to be crippled after this. Why are you doing 8 sets? Just do like 4 or 5. Once again, we've got these hyper-specific reps. Then we go into Romanian deadlifts. Once again, this is actually, honestly, a fantastic way of structuring a leg day. Do a heavy knee flexion. That could be a squat, a Bulgarian, a lunge, reverse lunge. Something heavy for a knee flexion. Even a leg press or a hack squat, if that's your vibe. And then go to a hip flexion. Like a Romanian deadlift, or even a conventional deadlift if you want, or a stiff leg deadlift, or Romanian stiff leg deadlift, or even what do you have? A good morning, just a hip flexion. So this is not a bad way of structuring a day, but this guy is a psychopath and has you do 8 sets of squats. So what you're like already like crippled after 8 sets of squats, and then you're going to go for 5 sets of Romanian deadlifts, and you somehow have to maintain 8 reps for every single one. So you better like make these the most chill sandbag sets ever, because there's no way you're going to get 8 on your last set. Then, after you've done, now we're already, 13 sets of heavy compounds in. We're going to go to barbell glute bridges, which I'm assuming he just means barbell hip thrusts. 5 sets of those. And then we go to calf raises. Okay, so now we're chilling out a bit. This is not a bad structure of a day, but we just need to pare back the volume, like, massively, I think. I think we could, if you were just to rewrite this day and make it functional, you could just do 4 sets of each of these. 4 sets of squats, 4 sets of rainy deadlifts, 4 sets of glute bridges, or hip thrusts, I think he means. And, yeah, keep 5 sets of calf raises, fine, whatever, spam some carbs. Ab pull down. Once again, I'm going to use this handy PDF to scroll down and see what the fuck an ab pull down is. Please hold. Oh, he means like, you take a cable machine and you do a crunch. That's not a bad exercise at all. That's not one I've ever really done because I feel like an absolute goofball, but it's not a bad exercise. And then standing oblique crunch. What the fuck is a standing oblique? Oh, he just means a side bend with a dumbbell. I could take or leave that exercise. I've never really felt my obliques very much doing it, and it kind of feels a little wonky on my lower back. But I don't hate it, as I'm not going to arrest you for doing it. So that's fine. And that's a superset, though. It's the abs at the end. With that said, bro, if you have any juice to do abs after doing... because I'm going to call a hip thruster compound as well. So after doing 18 sets of heavy leg compounds, if you have the fucking juice to do abs, more power to you, because I wouldn't. Unless I sandbagged the living fuck out of those compounds. If I did, then maybe I could, but that's... What am I doing then? Why am I doing so many sets? Why not just do a few harder sets? Then we go into our second lower day. Look, I'm assuming you're not doing these in a row. I'm assuming there's some weird fuckery here where you do upper, lower, and you just got it out of order. That must be what's going on. Because now we've got our second lower day. So I'm assuming the way the structure of this program actually works is you go one of those upper days, one of those lower days, one of upper days, one of the lower days. That's going to make a lot more sense. So we come in here and we do... I'm just going to read the little description here. It still complements perfectly. The legs are big and powerful. They are. Volume intensity, proper form. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. First exercise, front squat. Front squat is a good exercise. It's just very technically demanding. And if you're a beginner, you're unlikely to have a developed front rack position. Look, so I think front rack, if you can do it, it's fantastic. If not, you could just swap this to a back squat, or maybe just a squat variation, like a pause squat or something. Then we go to Romanian deadlift again. Oh, I should mention that once again. It's 5 sets, which is fine, whatever, 5 sets, it's better than 8. But once again, 8 reps, there's no way you're going to be able to maintain 5 sets of 8 unless you go real easy on each set to ensure that you're going to get 8 in the next one. So I don't like that. We're resting for 2 minutes, by the way, and not doing anything between sets here. So, yeah, could maybe do better than that. Then we got 5 sets of Romanian deadlifts, which, once again, I like we talked about. Knee flexion, hip flexion. Perfect way to do a hip extension, I should say, not hip flexion. I think I've been saying flexion. Hip extension. Is not a bad way to program a day, but this is a lot of sets. So, I've got 10 sets of heavy compounds. Then we've got another 5 sets of hip thrusts. So it's a lot of heavy compounds. Then we go calves. So it was a seated calf raise here. I'm wondering if we did standing calves before. I'm assuming we did. Because why were we doing seated calves twice a week? No, standing. Okay, that's good. So we get standing and seated. There's nothing wrong with that. Just a lot of sets. I feel like I'm going to be pretty dead after this. And then you would go into a bit of like an abs circuit type vibe. We've got leg lifts. What is a leg lift? Is that just a leg raise? I'm assuming it's just a leg raise. Let me just check what the... Yeah, so a leg lift is just a hanging leg raise. He's got odd terminology, this guy. Then we've got a wood chopper, which is just a thing on a cable machine. Yep. And then we've got a floor wiper, which is... This guy, he's lying on his side and he's holding a barbell. I don't know what the fucking floor wiper is. Let's just assume it's good exercise. It does look goofy. He's holding a barbell like above his head while lying on the ground. It looks terrifying. But look, let's just assume it's a good ab exercise. I don't hate this. Finish your leg day with some abs. And just do it as a superset. This actually isn't supersetted. So this is 3 ab exercises in a row unsupersetted. That's fine, whatever. Do some abs at the end of the leg day. But the one thing I will say is, once again, if you have juice after doing kind of 15 sets of compounds to do abs, more power to you. Because I probably wouldn't. I'd probably be too cooked to get anything out of abs at the end there. And that's the end of our program. So the structure of this is just a very... This PDF is weirdly good and weirdly terrible. In a sense that it's good, but it gives you demonstrations of every exercise, and it's like things are highlighted and bolded so you can see, but it's also weirdly fucking terrible because it's out of order. I assume it's out of order because there's no way you're doing all your upper days in a row and then your leg days in a row. So it's out of order, and everything is weirdly highlighted and like bright and just terrible, and it's constant reminders that nothing will happen unless you eat perfectly. Important, your meal plan is 100% of your results. There's no supersets, and the amount of compounds is just like honestly, the exercise selection I don't hate. Like, some of these days, they could be reordered a bit. Like, there's this day at the start where we're doing our close grip bench and our shoulder press on our military press on the same day. But look, like the days are good, especially the leg days are excellent. We squat, we do a fucking now confuse myself. We do a hip extension and a knee flexion, perfect. But the set amounts are just insane. Why are we doing like 6 sets of bench and 8 sets of squat? It's just unnecessary. Pare that down a little bit. And if you really want, if you feel like you're not doing enough because you didn't do enough sets of squats, you could toss in a little bit of isolation, a little bit of fluff. For example, if we take this day where we did 8 sets of squats, if you feel you need a bit more quads here, why not do 4 sets of squats and then like 3 sets of leg extension? Because your axial fatigue on this day, your lower back is going to fucking blow out the back of your body if you do 13 sets of heavy squats and deadlifts. It's just too much. But I don't hate the upper lower format. And I don't hate the exercise selection. Just chill out on the compounds and maybe add a little bit more isolation. One thing to note here is, do we have any biceps? Where's my biceps at? We had biceps on our day 1. I remember that. We did, right? Did we? No? Maybe I'm tripping out. Maybe I'm going crazy. There's no biceps here. Is there biceps on day 2? No biceps on day 2. Is there any biceps on day 3? Where is my biceps? I'm going to control F bicep. Well, that didn't work. Take me to biceps. Okay, we have a barbell bicep curl on day 1. That kind of seems to be roughly it. So we're training biceps once a week, which is not enough. Just with a barbell bicep curl. So we could definitely superset that into some of the stuff, especially between your fucking 8 sets of squats. Maybe do some biceps. Yeah, at least we're doing calves, we're doing forearms. We could just, we could really peel out a few of those sets of squats and Romanians and like that freaking day where did we do 8 sets of bench one day? I feel like we did. Was it day 1? We did 8 sets of bench for our freaking here we go. Modified bench press, 8 sets. Why can't we do a few less sets of bench and maybe do like some long head of a tricep isolation or something? Yeah. At least the split is not terrible. Upper lower is not a bad way to structure your training. Just chill out on the compounds, maybe pop in some isolation, and your lower back will thank you, and you'll probably get more out of it. But with that said, I can't be too mad. We have forearm isolation, we have abs, we have heavy compounds as the basis of our training. So, yeah, 6 out of 10 maybe. But I will say I'm tempted to dock points from my new grading system I just made up because, Jesus Christ, the fucking everything is highlighted in these like super garish highlighted colors. It looks like it hurts my eyes. But yeah, so there you go. That's my review of guaranteed gains. Yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoyed.